Welcome back to Mountain Elite Outdoors. As you guys seen, we made a waterfowl hunting video for the youth hunt, and over the time we shot many bullets through our shotguns. One important part of hunting is taking care of your equipment. So in today's video, I'm going to take the opportunity where I have the whole morning to myself and go through and clean my shotgun to take the proper steps and make sure I'm safe out in the field, because I know my equipment is ready to go. First things first, today we got to wear some gloves for our safety. To clean a gun, you're dealing with a lot of different chemicals. I use the Hops No. 9 traditional gun solvent, as well as Hops No. 9 gun oil. All these have got different chemicals in them, so the gloves are designed to help keep some of the chemicals off my hands and keep them as clean as they can be. Another thing in today's video that I'm using is the Cabela's gun cleaning kit. As you open up the inside, it's got anything from 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410. It's got all the hard brush wires for the barrels, as well as some of the pushing cloths to get a lot of the dirtiness out of the barrel. And then one thing I've also got is a couple rags to help wiping my gun down and such like that. So let's jump right into the video. One thing I like to do is I like to keep all my guns in socks. Although they are in a safe with a dehydrating kit in it, they still can collect moisture, and the socks is going to be what helps prevent some of that moisture from getting on your gun. So keeping your guns in a sock, even though you're having them inside the safe, is definitely recommended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by stripping down my gun, breaking it down. And rule number one when you're dealing with guns is always clear your gun. So you open up the action, stick your finger in there, make sure there's nothing down in the barrel, there's nothing underneath in the bottom chamber. So we're good. It's all cleared out, and we can close the action and start breaking down my gun. Be careful, I shoot a semi-automatic 12 gauge shotgun made by Tokarev, and the reloading spring can come out when you unscrew the chamber cap. There's a choke in there, which I lost my main choke, so what I can do is I can take a pencil, put it down in the bottom chamber, and it'll help minimize my bottom chamber to only hold 2 bullets at a time, from 2 3/4 inch all the way up to 3 1/2. So we'll keep all those parts right there, and then from here you just slide this arm off, just like that. As you can see, pretty dirty, but one thing we can also do is we can take the barrel off by unscrewing these little pieces right here. There's the O-ring, and it's important to remember how you're taking your gun apart so you can put it back together. So we got the O-ring. What I like to do is I just like to start stacking them on top, like so. Just keep unscrewing all these little bits and pieces till your barrel will come apart like that. That is how you disassemble your shotgun. I'm just going to finish taking this little piece off so I can clean all those grooves. And that is how you take your shotgun apart. Another thing right here is taking apart your bottom action. So one thing you need is going to be a push pin, which I need to go grab that. So one thing you're going to need is you're going to need a little gun punch. You can find that in a gunsmithing box. And what you do, there's these two punch pins right here. You just take your punch pin and push those out. Like so. Just like that, there's my action. And now I have access all the way down in here. So that is how you take apart your gun. Now from here, it's just taking a bunch of the solvent, wiping down all the little pieces here, getting them all clean, and then oiling them. Oiling them is a very important step. So what we're going to do, we open up our solvent here, open it up, and I like to pour some into the lid, just like so. Set this off to the side somewhere we're not going to bump it. Then these little rags here, just take some of these cloths, pile them up, and you just start taking them, dipping them in your solvent, and wiping down all the little pieces. So I'm going to do the little pieces first. See, they go from white, that white color, to the black color real quick. But it's important that you keep wiping it down till they don't become white anymore. After you give them a good old wipe down and they start coming out a little cleaner, you just take a dry one and wipe it down. It's like getting your piece wet and then you're drying it off, essentially, is what it's equivalent to. It's important that when you're cleaning inside of the action that you get in every nook and cranny as best and as good as you can. It's very difficult with all those nooks and crannies, but it's important that you get in there. Clean them all up. Your action is probably the most gunkiest part of them all, just due to all the gunpowder and stuff, it being right there underneath the bullet. But you gotta get them all. As your lid starts to dries up from solvent, just pour a little bit more into it and keep plucking away. One benefit of cleaning your guns is you're not going to have your guns jamming up on you out there waterfowl hunting when you're putting your shotgun and you're out in all the moisture and the snow and the rain. It adds up quick and it wears out the parts, but proper cleaning and good cleaning every so often is going to help your equipment last longer. And so it's starting to come out pretty good. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to start taking a Q-tip and getting down in some of those spots I can't necessarily reach with the cloth and my fingers. So any of those little spots, it's important to get. But this action's starting to come out pretty clean. So I'm going to start taking it and kind of drying it up a little bit. You don't want solvent sitting on your gun just because of the chemicals. Make sure your action, you're flipping that down so then you can get the underside of it all too. But it's starting to flow a little more smoothly and not as grainy. And these pins are important to get as well. Just take them and go around the pins, use the other side, dry it off, and you're good. But that is all the little parts. Now we're going to get into a lot of these bigger parts. So right here you can see all the gunpowder and stuff sitting in it. So we're going to just clean the beneath the barrel part. Start giving it some love and some scrubbing. Where'd that Q-tip go? You don't want any of that gunpowder sitting down in your barrel, because if that gunpowder gets in the way of your bullets, it's going to kick your bullets. So you want to make sure you got a clean barrel going out. Just make sure you're working on the inside of that action, getting everything that you can. So the next thing that I did is now I take the oil and any parts that are moving, like this part right here where it slides forward, my action here, I'm oiling it, as well as getting the action oiled down, so that way it prevents the rust and the wear on all the parts. I make another oil version. It's this Remington oil, and it's a spray where I can spray. It just sprays oil down, and then I just cycle it through to get the oil moving in parts that I can't get to. Then oil. So now that's cleaned and oiled. Just gonna kind of wipe some of the excess away so it ain't eating at the outside of it. So this little piece right here is done. Now we move into the barrel. Cleaning the barrel is probably one of the most important parts of it. And what you can do is you could take a wire. So this wire brush in my hand that I'm now screwing in, put a little bit of solvent on it, and then you can push this through the barrel, and what it does is now it's going to grab the dirtiness on the edges. In this case, I need to add on a little bit to it. Next thing we do, we oil down all of our pieces. Where'd that spray? Well, you guys, gun is clean and I am ready to go back out in the duck woods. So that is how I take care of my equipment, so that way I am prepared. My weapons are all ready to go out into the woods, and that's basically how I clean my shotgun. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you know when I'm posting new videos, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.